following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Coming up, President Donald Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, testifies for a second day before Congress.
Plus, the new minimum wage in Illinois is set to increase. What locals are saying about the bill ahead.
And local police hold a ceremony to honor officers on the force. What officials say make these officers stand out. Coming up.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
Months after more than 80 WIU employees were laid off, another round of massive layoffs is expected tomorrow. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4. I'm Ryan Hall.
And I'm Devin Brooks. I sat down with President Jack Thomas and the president for the WIU chapter of the University Professionals of Illinois Union to discuss the school's financial situation. It's a story you'll see only on News 3. More Western Illinois University faculty and staff are expected to be laid off Friday. We're told it could be hundreds of employees. This comes after the administration continues to look for ways to save money following a 2-year budget impasse and a steady enrollment decline. WIU President Jack Thomas released a statement in November saying the university must reduce spending by $5 million this fiscal year and by $21 million next year. Thomas sat down with me to talk about the cuts he says must happen.
There are difficult decisions that have to be made, and it's not easy. But at the same time, we want people to know that we're here for them.
Talk to the people that have been laid off, or they already know that it's coming for them. Think about the situation that they're in right now. What would you say to them?
We are, as an institution, we've done well. We are who we are because of the people who are here at our institution. We take pride in what we do, and we value the people here, the personnel here at this institution. And we're like a family here. And what happens to one person, it hurts all of us.
I certainly regret that the institution feels like it has to go this route.
UPI President Bill Thompson says he wants the administration to think about how to rebuild the university and its finances without making cuts.
I can't say that I'm excited about these layoffs or that I find these layoffs to be the only acceptable way to deal with the financial problems that we're facing.
We reached out to WIU's spokesperson for information about WIU making payroll for employees next year, but have not heard back.
We want people to know that we're here for them, as well as trying to help people seek other employment, to let them know that we are an institution that cares about the personnel here.
Thompson says UPI understands that layoffs can always happen while under contract, but there needs to be a better solution.
What we don't understand is why is the financial condition of the institution continuously worsening, right, 2 years after the impasse.
When people are looking from the outside at this university, at WIU, they see dorms closing, they see things going downhill. So is there any bright side?
There is a bright side, and I don't look at those things as going downhill. We have to make the necessary adjustments in order to make ends meet.
News 3 will have the latest on WIU layoffs tomorrow on our morning show, Good Morning Macomb, as well as our continuing coverage on our website and social media platforms. And we will have more on my one-on-one interview with Dr. Jack Thomas later on in the newscast.
UPI says more layoffs are expected to be announced tomorrow. The WIU committee came together last night for a prayer service in response to the anticipated layoffs. The event was hosted at the First Presbyterian Church. Most of those in attendance agreed that something must be done about the university's foreseeable future.
As Western goes, Macomb also goes. And I just see a negative reaction throughout the town itself and Western Illinois University.
I've lived in this community since 1970. It's my home. And to see businesses leave because we don't have the students anymore, or that faculty are leaving, it impacts me directly because my son teaches at Western and my grandson is a junior at Western.
UPI says the administration will send employees layoffs notices via email early tomorrow. Well,
a new minimum wage in Illinois will take effect next year. This new law signed by Governor J.B. Pritzker last week has received mixed reactions from people in the community. News 3's DeMorris Dixon talks to people who support and oppose the wage increase.
I'm scared. I'm really scared.
The minimum wage in Illinois is set to increase to $15 by 2025. This new jump in pay has some supporting while others oppose the increase. Currently, the state's minimum wage is at $8.25. Workers will start to see a difference in pay next year. The plan includes a $1 increase every year. Students around the community feel that the state's new plan is beneficial for workers.
It seems like a long time overdue.
Really good for people on campus. They make more money, they can set aside more.
Walls and Brand, who are WIU students, also say more money will provide better financial stability for their future.
Setting more aside for rent or my education?
Saving a lot more for trying to pay off student loans.
Proposers such as local business owners here at Chubby's Restaurant feel that the new law will impact their company for the future.
Imposing a $15 minimum wage with no skill set involved, it just kind of seems ludicrous to me.
The new law includes tax credits for businesses with 50 or fewer employees. Yates feels the new increase will cause financial troubles for businesses where they may have to shut down.
It could put you out of business. It could put a lot of people out of business.
As businesses decide how they'll handle the change, others are looking forward to how the boost in pay will help them. For News 3, I'm DeMorris Dixon.
And Illinois had its last raise in the minimum wage in 2010 by 25 cents. In the summer of 2020, the state's minimum wage will jump from $9.25 in January to $10 on July 1st. Then the minimum wage will increase by $1 every year until 2025.
WIU's former interim provost and academic vice president is retiring. Kathy Newman has served at the university since 1995. She retires today. Newman also worked in the School of Computer Sciences during her time at WIU and served as both a professor and department chair.
A routine traffic stop in McDonough County leads to 3 drug arrests. The McDonough County Sheriff says 3 people were arrested on a charge of meth possession on Tuesday night. During inspection of the truck, the sheriff says a bag that belonged to passenger Cheyenne Prouty contained meth and drug paraphernalia. The sheriff's office says Douglas Heath and Brian Wayne also had a warrant in northern Illinois. All 3 were arrested and charged with possession of methamphetamine under 5 grams and possession of paraphernalia.
The Macomb Police Department honors one of their own. Officer Nick Gauck has been named Officer of the Year, and he says he's very humbled to achieve this award.
It is amazing. I work with a lot of great people. Any one of them, could be recognized for this. So it's pretty amazing to be singled out as Officer of the Year.
Officer Gauck has been with the department since 2007. He has worked as a field training officer and is currently with the Strategic Response Team. In addition to naming Officer of the Year, the chief recognized the 8 individuals involved in Operation Iced Out. This 9-month-long investigation led to confiscating 2 pounds of methamphetamine and numerous firearms.
President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un cut their 2-day summit short. They were unable to come to an agreement to dismantle North Korea's nuclear weapons. Upon leaving, Trump and Kim did not commit to a 3rd summit.
Well, coming up next on Live at 4, Devin has a one-on-one exclusive interview with WIU President Jack Thomas.
Hear what Thomas has to say about multiple decisions his administration has made in the past several months, right after the break.
National Broadcasting Society helps the future of broadcasting get the tools needed to succeed in an ever-growing media world. At Western Illinois University, the professional connections students bring to our chapter of NBS have opened doors to networking possibilities that students otherwise wouldn't have. The opportunities we are given as students at WIU allow us to make connections today for success tomorrow.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
I chose Western Illinois University because I could get involved right away. You're going to gain experience. I'm going to be able to just become successful right out the gate. I'll be a news reporter and eventually become a news anchor one day. I've always felt that as a strong speaker, I could be a voice for the voiceless, but as long as I continue to believe in myself, work hard, and show that I want to put my best foot forward, I think that anything is possible.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
WIU has had to make some tough decisions since the state budget impasse began more than 3 years ago. Employees have been laid off and furloughed, and some academic programs have been cut or changed as the university has worked to overcome its financial difficulties. At the head of those controversial decisions has been President Jack Thomas. I spoke with him about the decisions that he and his team are making to keep the university operating.
Even during these very difficult times, no president has gone through these the challenges that we face here at Western, and I'm here to make sure that we do the things that are necessary to position Western Illinois University.
WIU President Jack Thomas saying he's committed to keeping the university financially solvent 18 months after the state budget impasse ended, even if that means making some unpopular decisions. Over the last year, Thomas has faced lots of criticism for decisions he and his administration have chosen to make to free up money for the university. He agreed to sit down with me to bring up some of the changes he calls necessary. Can you briefly take me back to how the Tri-States Public Radio decision was made to cut their funding, cut that state funding completely?
Well, as we stated some time ago, we're looking at everything. We looked at everything. No stone is unturned here at this institution. And we looked at everything. And that was one of the decisions that was made so that they'll be self-sufficient. Some programs have to be self-sufficient, and that was one of them. And I think we have moved on.
But I will say there are people who value Tri-States Public Radio as journalism here in this community, and you don't get a lot of that in smaller communities. Even you may be a listener, or
I'm a supporter.
Yeah,
financially.
Okay, so explain to the people who are listeners, who do give and donate. You just took away their funding, and it's uncertain whether or not how much longer they're going to be on the air. What would you say to them?
I'm a supporter, and I've been giving long before this, and I continue to give. And I believe in public radio. But there comes a time where you can't do everything.
In a faculty senate vote held last March on whether faculty members had confidence in the administrative leadership at WIU, about 65% of faculty members who cast ballots said they had no confidence. Thomas says although decisions made by his administration are often not favored by many, he says major ones have to be made.
We have turned the page, and we have moved on. We have to do what's best in the best interest of our students and this university.
Anyone that's looking at this university for the years ahead, what would you tell them to keep them optimistic about Western Illinois University for the future?
I would say hold on. These are difficult times.
Dr. Thomas is the 11th president of WIU. He took office in 2011. News 3 will continue to follow the latest developments at WIU as more decisions affecting the university's future continue to be made. And in a follow-up, officials at Tri-States Public Radio say their funding situation is improving, at least to get them through most of next year. Station management say they've received more than $420,000 in pledges from listeners and businesses so far since July. Earlier this month, the station gained 54 new donors during their Spring and Fun drive, making for over 300 new donors this fiscal year. They say the new numbers is a step in the right direction.
That's really quite good. It's a lot more than we typically earn in a year, and it's a start in making sure we have funding for our future.
Officials say it will cost more than $200,000 to cover the staff going forward. They will continue to plan various fund drives throughout the year.
A WU community meeting will take place this evening at the Spoon River Extension Center. The meeting is scheduled for 5 o'clock, and it will discuss the future plans for WU and the changes that will take place. For more information about tonight's meeting, please visit Buy Into Western Illinois University's Facebook page. President Donald Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen is meeting with the closed house committee today. On Wednesday, in a public testimony, Cohen said that Trump directed him to pay off adult film actress Stormy Daniels. He also added Trump lie about the Trump Tower Moscow negotiations during his campaign because he didn't expect to win the presidency. In his testimony, Cohen had strong words describing President Trump.
I am ashamed because I know what Mr. Trump is. He is a racist, he is a con man, and he is a cheat.
In December, Cohen was sentenced to 3 years in prison on 9 counts.
Coming up next, Molly Naslin will have your weekend forecast coming up right after the break.
On Tuesday, November 6th, our state will be making some important decisions.
You might think it's not important,
or your vote doesn't matter.
But that's not true.
If you don't know how
or where to register,
visit vote.gov.
Make your voice heard.
Create your success at Western Illinois University. Automatic scholarships and affordable education and more are all yours at Western Illinois University. Apply today at wiu.edu.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
I want to be able to stand in front of a camera and tell people the story of what the weather's going to be like that day, or be able to tell people, hey, there's something coming your way, you need to take cover, you need to watch out. And being able to stand in front of a camera and tell not only people who are directly involved but their family members as well, like, this is what's going on. It's been very important to me because, you know, being in those situations where you are relying on the news to tell you what's going on, and I like to be a part of that and helping people with that. Good afternoon and welcome back to Live at 4. Our temperatures right now are currently about 27 degrees, mostly cloudy. We do have some clouds moving through the area. Gentle winds out of the east-northeast, so it is bringing a little bit of those colder feeling winds in, low humidity and low dew point. So we're sitting a little comfortable right now. We are a little bit below what we are seeing average about this time of year, and unfortunately we are not near our high of 70 degrees. Although that would feel nice. Spring is coming. It is coming, though. Looking at our surface map, unfortunately, spring will not be here as soon as we would like it. There is a cold system coming in from the north. It's going to be bringing a lot of cold air down through our area. As you can see right now, though, not a whole lot over us. Just some clouds over our area. There is a little bit of snow off to the northwest on the ground, excuse me. But not here. Our temperatures currently right now, again in Macomb, 27 degrees, Beardstown at 29, Quincy, a little bit warmer at 30 degrees for your current temperature. Tonight, teens, lower 20s, Macomb at 19, Keokuk at 21, and Quincy at 22 degrees tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to have a little bit of a warm-up, 38 degrees in Macomb, 39 in Beardstown, and 39 in Quincy as well. Tomorrow night is where we're going to start seeing a little bit of that drop. 21 degrees in Macomb, 23 in Beardstown, 23 in Quincy as well. Looking ahead tonight, again, low of 19 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, gentle winds, northeast at 7 miles per hour. Not too bad. Make sure you bring a coat if you're going out. Tomorrow, a little bit warmer, high of 38. Above freezing, almost 40, but those winds are going to be a little bit higher as we move into the weekend. Now, looking at your 5-day forecast. Yeah, Sunday, that's when the cold air moves in from the north, dropping temperatures to a low of -5 overnight with the possibility of snow Sunday morning. Monday, we're going to warm up just a little bit overnight, but a high of only 14. Tuesday is when the temperatures will really start to pick up, high of 20. But Friday, Saturday, for the start of your weekend, high in the mid to upper 30s. Not looking too bad. We do have some partly cloudy skies.
We've just been on a hill with these temperatures. Like, we've just been warm one weekend, and then all of a sudden we're in the 20s again.
Spring is coming, just not as soon as we would like it to be.
I want spring right now. So
I know. Well, thank you, Molly.
Thank you.
And Michael Dion is here with sports.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, guys. And it may be cooling off outside, but inside basketball arenas all across America, it's heating up. Coming up in sports on News 3 Live at 4, we've got the scoop on West Hancock and Triopia men's IHSA state playoff action and 2-game road trips for the Leatherneck men and women with heavy postseason implications. Next on Live at 4.
I started to think about doing broadcasting my freshman year. I started calling some football games for the freshman football team. My high school didn't really have a broadcasting program like some do, and so a lot of my stuff was just PA for different sports, for basketball, for volleyball. And my mom signed me up for a visit to come to Western on a Discover Western Day. And I walked through the doors of the rec center, and Buzz Hoon shook my hand and said, "Zach Stone, I've seen all your footage, I know who you are, and you belong here." And that's what really makes WIU feel like home.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
The first time I met Morris, the door flew open and I got this larger-than-life personality talking at the top of his lungs.
Hey, how you doing today?
Oh, man. Oh, I totally forgot. Hold on, let me get this for you. Oh. Just had a magnetic energy. So I thought, all right, we're definitely going to be friends.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch!
Why I love to do sports anchoring? Because, I mean, it's talking about sports. I decided to come to Western because I wanted an experience that wasn't like some other schools. I did color commentary for one volleyball game. I was terrified. I never did any broadcasting in high school, but when I was talking, it was all, staggered, and I had no idea what I was saying, and now I've done so many different games as a color commentator, play-by-play, now sports anchor. Every show and every game, it gets easier and easier, and I get more comfortable doing it.
Welcome back to a News 3 Sports Update. I'm Michael Dion. We'll start with women's basketball, who went a mile high into the sky earlier this afternoon to take on the Denver Pioneers. The matchup was of incredible importance to both sides, with the Leathernecks and Pioneers sitting at 8-6 in the conference. The winner gets the advantage in the three-way battle for the middle three spots in the Summit League tournament. Unfortunately, the Leathernecks fell to 12-16 with the 94-85 loss to the Pioneers. Annabelle Grettinger put up her best, 24 points. Taylor Higginbotham, a 23-8, a wonderful performance for the all-time scoring leader in Western women's history. Moving on to the men. Tonight, the 9-18 Leatherneck men will be taking on the 7-21 Denver Pioneers. A win for the men will be in a guaranteed place in the Summit League tournament, which comes up this weekend. Tip-off tonight from Magnus Arena in Denver, Colorado for the men's basketball game is 8 o'clock. And the women and the men both end their regular seasons this weekend against powerhouse South Dakota State all the way up in Brookings, South Dakota. The games take place on Saturday. Women's tip-off first at 1 and men's tip-off to follow at 4:15. In high school action back here in the state of Illinois, the West Hancock Titans boys basketball team won their region earlier this week. The reward? A matchup against Pleasant Plains in the sectional semifinal last night. Unfortunately, the game didn't end pleasantly, and West Hancock lost their season and the game 39-38 in a low-scoring defensive-heavy loss. In more high school action, coming into Tuesday night, the Triopia Trojans had a 30-win season, but they desired more. A state title just a handful of wins away. In front of them now, the Peoria Christian Chargers in the sectional semifinal. In the sectional semi-action, the Trojans overcame a mid-game charge and won 60-44 and are moving on to play Elmwood in the sectional championship. That game will take place in Lewiston on Friday. Tip-off at 7. That's sports. Send it back to Devin and Ryan at the desk with more local news.
All right, thank you, Michael. The University Farm just started a new project that serves students and the community.
Leatherneck Country Meats is open for business, and it aims to provide bundles of pork to the area. The hogs are raised by agricultural students who also run the entire operation.
I think that is a great way for the community to have a bundle of meat that comes from a local university raised by students to support the university.
Meat will go on sale once a year.
Leatherneck Country Meats offers 3 different bundles. Links to the order forms can be found on news3wiu.com.
It'll be interesting to try
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, well, it's chilly outside, but we have a little something to warm you up right after the break.
I learned broadcasting for 3 years in high school, so towards my senior year, I was pretty much invested in wanting to pursue a career, and I do enjoy it now, but I'm searching for a way to make sure that it's something that I want to pursue after college. That way, I'll be able to wake up every day and say, this is something I want to do, this is something that I love, this is something that I can teach, I can spread, I can affect people with.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
I was living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
It's National Chili Day. There are many different ways you can make chili.
A big debate people have is about what makes true chili. Do you like beans or no beans in your chili?
That sounds so good right now.
I know, yeah. With beans, whether or not beans, I like chili either way. And you know what?
I think right after the broadcast, we should go over to Molly's house.
That sounds great. That sounds great. I'm down for that. And you know what? This is the perfect time to have chili because with all these cold temperatures.
True.
Yeah, I mean, this would be fantastic.
We do have colder temperatures on the way tomorrow. Not so much, high of 38, partly cloudy skies. Saturday, cooling down just a little bit, still partly cloudy skies, but Sunday is when it really starts to hit home. High of 21 with chance of snow in the morning, and then -5 overnight, only to get to a high of 14 degrees on Monday with sunny skies. Low of 2. Tuesday will warm up just a little bit with partly cloudy skies, but we'll only have a high of 20 degrees.
All right, thanks very much, Molly, and that is all for us today.
But we are online all the time. Stay up to date with us, news3wiu.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Just search our handle, News3WIU. You can also search for us on YouTube and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
From all of us at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.